It's okay. Off your mind, it's okay. Off your mind,
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power. Over naira, still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego die the politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my egun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my egun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my egun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. My egun don't come, oh yo yo. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ la mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ la mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré, wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun diary, diary politico. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Godfatherism, kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o, kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ o, làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìí yẹ. Mayegun máa wí. tó bá rúfin o. Máyégún máa ní. Àní ẹ̀ sọ́ra jù. Máyégún ti dé. Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Máyégún máa ní. Àní ẹ̀ sọ́ra jù. Máyégún ti dé.
Continue. 70 years old man. Jesus is Lord.
Hello there. So good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you're joining us. It is Mayegun live. Thank you very much for joining me. Please read the caption of the broadcast. Take your time to read the description of the broadcast as well. And as usual, like the broadcast, share it. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them that Mayegun today, it should be an interesting noon or night tonight. Yesterday, Kaduna Little Finger, the El-Rufai of Kaduna, poked the bear again, this time with another kind of like salvo shots, when he said, Tinubu is gone. The guy is gone. And in 2027, they are going to send the urban bandits back to Lagos. This is a kind of a trigger, as usual, from the usual culprit, the Presidiot. But El-Rufai said a lot in that Arise News interview. He also said that he agreed that he is one of the instruments used in bringing Koolu to power in Nigeria. He called it a disaster, a tragedy. And right now he is part of a coalition that would remove this tragedy, to undo what they did. So to undo what they did would be the right one, right? And to thiefnubu's camp, it's just one of those rants. See, one of those rants or not, that is why you are on Mayegun's Diary Political, so that a day in the future, you probably will need any other days in the diary, so that we will keep everything documented. Mayegun's Diary Political is like the filling the gap kind of platform. As much as the ruiners of Nigeria are betting more on people's forgetfulness, Stockholm syndrome, and of course their personal appeal to their personal greed. Mayegun's Diary Political is, if not for now, but for the future, and the generation that needs to know these characters, what they did and when they are doing their online research, they will come across some of these videos. So you see, so tonight we are documenting everything that El-Rufai spilled. Now, what in the world would make Tinubu get beaten or defeated in the charade that he is going to conduct? Yeah, that is the background from which the typical Ronokus have been talking, like this coalition, that. these are just clowns. How in the world do you expect a thiefnubu to actually lose power to you? And for people like us that you can call the observers but interested party too, it is a good feeling when people who have power have abused it so much that the people, they have become so detached from the people that they were supposed to have derived their power. So currently you can tell, like people are saying it that Tinubu and his gang do not really need your votes. They just need few people to line up on the day of the charade, get their pictures taken, election result announced. They just need your validation to say, okay, you participated. This is how much confidence that these guys have. And at the same time, this is how much a distrust that Nigerians have in the system. So in this kind of breath, when the likes of El-Rufai and others says they know what they did, and somehow he's not a reliable person, or he's not a credible person, all right? But he is also not a negligible person or character. He is pretty much involved, all right? So whatever they did that made the druggie to be your Presidiot today, that he thinks he can help them on dawn, on, yeah, great. You should listen, okay? Like, just listen. And that's what that is why we are kind of like having this expose tonight. If you have listened to the conversation before now, great. So when he said he said they conducted, he said they have conducted a survey. I know it is just all talk. You don't even need to conduct a survey to read the mood of Nigerians, genuine ones. So according to El-Rufai, they conducted a survey. In that survey, it is only 9% Nigerians that are still with thiefnubu. Meaning 91% Nigerians, if they have the opportunity today, not only that they will take power from the APC, they will in fact possibly like stone them. Like I said, he's not a credible person. And you might say, if he's not credible, then why are we having this convo? He may not possibly possess the kind of a political clout, right, that is bigger than his whole body. But he is also a very useful tool. Is being used severally because he is a religious fanatics will go Oxford for 6 weeks course. Do you understand that? An accidental civil servant. He is a very useful tool in some, at some level of their treacherous power play in Nigeria. So meaning he may not possess the political clout that, could face thiefnubu, but it can be very much instrumental to the political destruction of thiefnubu, that you can't really ignore him. But like I said, he is not like this powerful person, but a very, very because he knows, I'll tell you something, in their northern Nigeria, so they have this political kind of a followership that is religiously sort of like a structured. All right. So in that kind of a structure, they have a medium where they have all these their mullahs, all these their Islamic preachers. I'm talking about, the high-ranking ones, the Zalas, and to them, the most important thing, the first thing first is the religion, Islam, which is what they used to cover. So after that, and you can use that to acquire power and maintain that power still using that same religion, kind of. So it is stronger than what you can look at, and that is our own tool. All they have to do is just to call themselves like that. Once their political interest is believed not to align anymore, or should not align anymore, from that moment, it will be like this, not the same people who push their Muslim ticket. So it is that kind of, till tomorrow, there are northerners who believed that Peter Obi deported Igbos. There are northerners that believes that Peter Obi arrested him during election in Anambra. It's not because they don't have alternative facts that have already debunked that lie, but because when you look at where that message was passed and the purpose and the intention for it, here you get. So the likes of El-Rufai becomes very, very dangerous. So they know how to use that religious kind of like a tool so well that it will play the role of, you know what I mean, bringing everybody together to say, this is what we're going to do, it's for your own interest. So right now, if it tells you that they've conducted a survey, and their survey says thiefnubu is only liked by 9% Nigerians, here is my own theory. El-Rufai is practically telling us that those who agreed to compromise the Nigerian electoral system for thiefnubu after pushing Muslim tickets and continue to defend him in the last 1.5 years before they have already started disembarking now. Their political interest is not being aligned because to some extent, right, there are some of them who believes that Tinubu has abandoned all the promises he made to them. I don't know the promises on this their Muslim worldview. El-Rufai is building on that. The preaching in their north is that Tinubu hates the north. And this is something they will amplify. But this time around, it's not going to be Tinubu hates the north. Tinubu hates the Muslims in the north. So once they activate that within their circle, you know, there are still some of them that are still waiting that Tinubu will still come back and do what he said he would do. I don't know. But when you read their posts, if you have been politically active, you understand this, right? So when you read their posts, it's like Tinubu has disappointed them. I don't know what he promised them. I have no clue. But whatever their political interest is, this snake, El-Rufai, is ready to exploit it, amplify it, that is, escalate it, then weaponize it. So those who are still with Tinubu are possibly those who feels like they still needed to be paid. So when El-Rufai said the guy is gone, that kind of touched a nerve, because I have not seen this kind of reaction that I've seen from these Ronukus, as well as you know, their bosses in the last 24 hours. So let's go on and check what that is, and then we take it on from there. And their coalition talk, by the way, El-Rufai, the Kaduna little finger, ladies and gentlemen.
Very much indeed for coming in.
Thank you, Charles, for having me.
Lovely to see you again.
Good to see you again.
And you are obviously the person everybody wants to talk to. But let me talk generally first of all before I come to you in particular, because we've had different scenarios now about what political vehicle the opposition coalition will use to challenge and attempt to face down President Tinubu in 2027. One was to use existing parties such as the SDP that you're now a part of, or the ADC, or to register a completely new party, which they are now trying to do. Which in that chain of possibility is the most plausible?
Well, look, Charles, you don't go to war with only one plan. So very early in our discussions, the leaders of the coalition took the decision that we'll not only look for existing platforms and identify one that is suitable for all of us to go under one roof, but we'll also explore the possibility of registering a brand new party. Many of the leaders believe that registering a brand new party is the least risky of the propositions. Because
do you believe that?
I think so. I think a brand new party doesn't have any legacy problems or any viruses injected, because what the government, the ruling party and the government have been doing is to create problems in the opposition parties by recruiting and financing viruses to multiply. This is what is happening in the Labour Party, the PDP, and even the NNPP. So many of the leaders expressed concern that perhaps the best way to avoid this, you are dealing with a mischievous government and party that is totally immoral. They will do anything to eliminate all opposition, is to register a brand new party. And the Constitution and the Electoral Acts are very, very clear about the qualifications for registering a new party. Many of us do not believe that under the current leadership of INEC, a new party will be registered, because Dr. Mahmoud Yakubu is not Jega, and President Tinubu is not Jonathan. Okay, those were the people in charge when the APC was registered, and many were pessimistic about the prospects of registering a new party. But we said, let's try it anyway. Let's show. Right. Let's show that, you know, INEC is not independent. Right. Let's show that this government is interfering to ensure there is no opposition. But so we're pursuing both paths. Right. And if both become available, then the leadership will then sit down and consult and take their views to the plenary, and a decision will be taken. Right,
but some would argue that that's not an entirely fair assessment to INEC, because INEC, from what I understand, has many new applications for parties.
They have over 100 applications.
That are ahead of the ADA.
Yeah.
So it might take a very long time for INEC to get to the ADA, and it might look a bit partial if the Commission skipped the other ones in favor of registering the ADA right away.
Look, it is not a queuing system. The way these things should work is that any party that is registered will get assigned a set of officers. The requirements in the Constitution that have been repeatedly upheld in the Supreme Court are very simple. They are very easy to meet. So, you know, you don't need the entire INEC to queue 100 applications and say, oh, we'll finish A before we come to Z. You assign teams, and look, we've project managed things like that. You can do this in no time if you want to do it. Of course, they will give those excuses, but we don't believe it. We don't believe that. And when the timelines in the Electoral Act and the Constitution are very clear, there are a number of days that INEC must respond and say, this is the defect in your application. Otherwise, the Constitution says, you know, you are deemed to have been registered. So INEC is treading on a very narrow path here. It has an opportunity to show its independence, and it should prove its skeptics wrong. But there are opposing views, but the coalition decided that will be pursued, and that's why you saw the application. Right. And in
it's a collective decision.
It was a collective decision.
Right, because what we are hearing is, I mean, to the public, it looks like there are...
But it is the leaders of these groups that are in the discussion. We are not bringing parties together. We are not engaged in a merger. I am part of the leadership, but I'm not there representing SDP. I'm there as an individual with some political weight, no matter how small, in my state or in the Northwest. Okay, so this is how all the groups, how the coalition is formed. It has nothing to do with parties, but we all agreed that if we're able to come to a consensus about a political party to go into, we will leave our parties and
join
join with all our followers. That is the understanding.
Sure, of course, the political party consensus is the first step, isn't it? The second step is who's going to actually be the presidential candidate of the party.
First you need a party. Every party has its constitution and rules. It is the rules of the party that will determine how the primaries will be carried out, how the congresses will be carried out, that will lead to the emergence of party leadership as well as candidates for the election. That is a second or third step. We are not even talking about that. This is why I feel quite empowered and encouraged by the attitude of the leadership, because nobody is talking about
very much
what they want to become. Now, the key point from El-Rufai's statement in that part is that they want to treat thiefnubu as someone who is very different from Jonathan, and Yakubu very, very different from Jega. So thiefnubu is not Jonathan, Yakubu is not Jega. So they themselves want to be a little bit duplicitous. That means while some will go and try to register a political party that will end up being their coalition party, at the same time, they are looking into the existing political party, but in a way that they are not bringing parties together, but individuals and their followers, make it look like they are starting afresh. Somebody said El-Rufai should be in jail for genocide, crimes against humanity, and every other thing. Baba, you are right. So it was on this platform that I expressly reminded all of you that as long as you are believing in one Nigeria, that one Nigeria, I don't know what it means to you, is a place where you would have to end up supporting the same characters responsible for the malady that has bedeviled the land. And in that case, some of those who were with Bokwari, when Bokwari was destroying Nigeria, jailing activists and rehabilitating terrorists, some of those who were with him at the time, who are no longer in power, are today people who want to save us from thiefnubu, including Atiku, who brought this APC. You get what I mean? So it is like you will be at their mercy, even if they have to use somebody as a cover. This is the reason why many of us don't believe. Me personally, this is why I don't believe in any of your permutation of trying to save this contraption. But again, if this is just a reminder for some of you, I no get any business in in who is declared winner or not in your charade, because I understand the system and I know what is going to keep producing. The reason why I want to sort of like help, like, elaborate or kind of like, how do I put that? I want to say like escalate all of this and give you kind of like a, routine is this. Just maybe, because we are all waiting for one thing, that we indeed reset that contraption. And what is that? Your election can't fix that to start with, but it can actually be the beginning of it. A lot of you need a reason, right, to break down this corrupt system and start afresh. One reason. So if you attempted it in 2023, right? The person that you faced in 2023 has become stronger. more confident and believes that you don't even have it in you. However, if you come together and you go into another charade, you get rigged out. So there is two things that can happen. Number one, it simply means that thiefnubu and his hegemony will probably outlive the rest of us. And number two, it may actually end. And when APC, Egbekebe, goes down, it is going to drag Nigeria down with her. That is my prediction. So something needs to happen. And that thing is when you have a bit of a national, something that make you feel like, wait, we could actually get rid of these guys and take the power from them with that confidence, and then it becomes so kind of sure, and then they start rigging, they start announcing fake results. That should be enough. That is where my money is. Something needs to change in this contraption. We cannot continue like this. We can't. The criminals who put this criminal establishment in place or system, they keep benefiting from it at the expense of millions of lives. So something needs to happen. Something needs to spark. And their own overconfidence, your own kind of like, optimism. There are two things that you can call like hope, Abi. So if the past criminals and some of the good ones and the rest of you ended up teaming together to build a base enough to chase thiefnubu and the entire PC off, you are indirectly going to empower others, Abi. So that is the gray side. Yeah. You can't win. So to me, don't get me wrong, I actually want thiefnubu to, which I think and I know he's going to do. I want him to go out and rig in such a way that it will be so annoying, right? That nobody will hold you down and say, oh, mommy, everything will go scatter now. Baba, that way, if election don't remove these people, not if you remove them anymore. Baba, you know that kind of thing. You know that kind of rigging, for example, right? Let's say they do coalition and Peter Obi is their candidate, okay? And they look for maybe another, career thief so that he will represent the interest of all, you get what I mean? And then everybody is expecting that, oh man, this one, you rig and die. You in the north though, in the east though, in everywhere, you rig and die. And then your election, your charade come. And they started announcing thiefnubu. You know that thing that you'll be like, wait, this is not, they just announced my area. I text that number, and then they say thiefnubu scored 70 million votes. You know, that kind of, and then you'll be asking yourself, I say, from where? They can say Obi score 11 million. You know, that kind of gap that will get you your, I will be very disappointed if you put all of this together and thiefnubu is indeed disgraced and all that, like they did in 2015, and then thiefnubu pick up the phone and call Peter Obi and say congratulations. Man. So don't think I don't wish you well. It's just that at the end of the day, it is always going to be to square. So something needs to happen. This contraption and the entire arrangements needed, we need to have a conversation around that. You can't continue like this. But here, there is more from where that came from. El-Rufai, continue, please.
Way forward is that these are not, because you're not talking about parties coming together like we saw.
It's not a merger.
You're talking about sort of.
We're looking for one platform to all go into. No. A decision was taken, okay, to set up committees to engage with existing platforms, as well as another committee to get all the efforts. Already in the coalition, there are about 3 groups that have made attempts to register their own party. Okay, so we said, look, come together, harmonize, and come up with one name, one party, one logo, one constitution, and they came at the last meeting. We were briefed on the name and the symbol and so on, and that team was given the go-ahead to proceed with the registration. Some leaders in the coalition prefer a new party, as I said, while some feel that, you know, we should just go into an existing party and start organizing, because the main battle begins when we have a platform.
Sure.
This is all
that
preliminaries.
Implies that whenever a southerner is there, that's when this issue of coalition comes up. When President Jonathan was in office, that was when coalition came up with the APC, and now Tinubu is in office and it's come up again. What are your thoughts on that?
I never thought about that. I don't care about that. The reason why the Jonathan coalition came up was as a result of two developments. First, the feeling that Jonathan was not governing the country very well, okay? Second, Jonathan made a commitment not to run in 2015. So he had problems even within his own party. The third, okay, was simply we realized, those of us in small parties, opposition parties at the time, CPC, ANPP, ACN, we realized that unless we came together, okay, step by step, election cycle after election cycle, the PDP will be destroying us in bits and pieces. So it was an act of self-preservation in the first instance for the political parties. That's why three major political parties decided we must come together, okay? The second, of course, was the feeling that, you know, Jonathan was doing a bad job, let's get him out. I don't think it has anything to do with North or South.
But you supported President Buhari in 2019.
Yes.
And for many people, he simply didn't deliver.
Yes.
I mean, you supported Tinubu in 2023, and
Yes.
now you're saying he's not delivering.
Yes.
So how can we trust that the person you supported in 2027 can deliver?
You don't have to. Don't trust what I say. It looks like I'm not very good at picking successful presidents, so don't trust me if I say vote for Charles Aniagolu. Look at your situation, look at yourself and ask yourself whether the person that I'm campaigning for or the person that I'm supporting to be president will be better than what you have now. Life, human affairs, life is all about relativity. You have to ask yourself, will this man do a better job? When we supported Bola Ahmed Tinubu for president, we were under the mistaken impression that he will be better.
I was going to ask you about that, because I wanted to get into why you supported him so totally, because I remember interviewing you during that period. I mean, there was, many people would say that there was never anything about him that really inspired people to believe that he could really change this country dramatically. He didn't take part in any debates that brought some new insight. He wasn't particularly charismatic, and many people didn't see anything in his DNA that made him particularly stand out. Was there something about him that you detected that separated him from the pack as far as you were concerned and made you support him so totally in 2020?
Okay, so let me respond to that in two steps, okay? Because, you know, it's very easy for non-politicians to analyze this thing as one continuing narrative. But actually, the way the thought process works is this, okay? And this is how it worked in 2022. For us, as northern APC governors, the first concern we had was after 8 years of Buhari, power should go to the south. We believe that there was such an understanding in our party. We were part of the formation of the party. And we felt that that was an honorable thing that must be upheld. So that was the first step. So we didn't start by saying we want A or B to be president. We just said, look, power should go to the south. That was the first step. The second step is, now that power has gone to the south, who do we support that we think will have a chance of winning? Okay? Because you want your party to win. You want to be the party in power. And lots of calculations went into that. And Bola Tinubu became the beneficiary of that. But we didn't start with supporting a candidate. No, no, no. And I want to say that it was the support of the governors of the Northwest, Northeast, and North Central that was decisive in deciding the outcome of the primaries as well as the election. Of course, Bola Tinubu's puppeteers are now denying that. They are saying all kinds of things, and they will learn their lesson in 2027. Okay, but this is how
way forward.
Now that is where it is going to get to the interesting parts. Sorry if listening to him is boring. At least it's better than listening to thiefnubu. What thiefnubu used in convincing them here is one of them. And according to him, thiefnubu's vuvuzela, how they have been on us. I mean, it wasn't just El-Rufai though, right? So what did thiefnubu say that got the likes of El-Rufai to back him? Maybe this one.
60 billion they couldn't generate enough kilowatts energy to make a popcorn.
Give you an example, sir. When Bola Ahmed Tinubu was famously, shown to say the Bala Balu, that's something I can't understand.
Is there no other way to say that?
No. But if he sleeps, sir, it's okay.
True. It's not true. What is true then?
Doctored.
It was doctored.
It was doctored.
You do realize?
I'm telling you, it was doctored because we showed the real original video clip.
Why
on TVC.
Why would
and
you?
Then it was broken into snippets and thrown on the social media.
Where's the primary?
I just explained that to you now.
He told us that he didn't go to a primary school. Is that what you're saying?
In those days, you don't have to go. You don't have to. You read and pass GC from home. Great men do.
Secondary school?
Not just secondary school, that's GC now.
Man! What type of plane is this?
Yeah. Yes, they pass it from home. Yes, great men do. It is fact, it is one of the virtues that you used to know great men.
Hey! How come you aware of this?
That they read from home. They read and dug in and burnt the midnight oil from home.
Shut up. Shut up, that's an insult.
60 billion they couldn't generate enough kilowatts energy to make a popcorn.
El-Rufai talking about why they had to follow thiefnubu. Pastor Ruga was there. He was loyal. I mean, he was with Bukwari for 8 years. El-Rufai and their gang didn't see pulling their weight behind Pastor Ruga. In fact, Pastor Ruga came third in their primary. thiefnubu alone gave 100 million naira each to 21 people. Do you know that they had about 31 people who bought APC, Egbekebe's presidential form in 2022? Do you remember that? That thiefnubu alone sponsored 2.1 billion naira that was paid to the APC, Egbekebe, for 21 candidates plus himself. I don't know how many of you will remember that it was Babashir Lawal and others who went to go and pay 100 million and gave it to Koolu to come and be presidential candidate as part of the scheme. It became so ridiculous that time that almost every day you will see a name of somebody. Like, people were even finding out that they are now APC presidential aspirants that time because of this money launderer, this druggie. 2.1 billion naira. 2 billion of it was paid to take out presidential form, interest form. He saturated the whole place. He polluted the entire space that confusion won't kill them. Then the money started rolling in. And we are talking about money that some of them even felt like they could use or they would use for their own elections. So it was a collective job, right? But right now, thiefnubu is like that Oshupa's music. Sorry if you don't understand Yoruba, okay? I'll try and interpret it, all right? It's just part of my expressive analysis of it. It's a story of a chicken farmer who married a woman that was also very much like promiscuous, kind of like, you know. So she started dating a man that sells goats, and she wants to marry him. So they had to kill the husband, the chicken farmer. But how would they do it? The wife told this goat seller and his friends that in the middle of the night, they should come and disturb the barn. Once he hears is a chicken making that sound, he will run or rush outside. Then they should kill him. It worked. They killed the chicken farmer. Then she married the goat farmer. Then she also started, while she's married to the goat farmer, then she started seeing Fulani Asman, a cow seller. And in order to go and marry the cow seller, they would have to kill the goat seller. So she told the cow seller that, you know what? You will need to get some people to come in the middle of the night and disturb the barn. Once he hears his goats screaming, he will rush outside and you will kill him. Forgetting the fact that it was the goat farmer and the cow adder that both killed the chicken farmer, her first husband. So in the middle of the night, the cow farmer, which is the cow adder, brought in some friends. They started disturbing the barn where the goat farmer kept his goats. Then he just felt like, they were disturbing and the goats were crying. His wife was there. Then the wife was like, won't you go outside and check your barn? It's like they are disturbing your, something is going on with your goats. Then he just burst out saying to his song, meaning the way we killed the chicken farmer, myself and the cow adder, should I die the same way? Now you can now relate that to that of thiefnubu. He was part of the scheme. In fact, he sold most of the ideas of how to get rid of Goodluck Jonathan. Why was that? In 2010, when Yaradua died, and Jonathan became your substantive president, he was to run a year after as president to hold his own mandate, not here with Yaradua this time. And around that time, the pressure, in fact, was that Jonathan shouldn't run. That was the beginning of that deal, that famous talk that Jonathan agreed to run for just 4 years, one term, and return the power to the North, because the North felt so shortchanged that they couldn't do 8 years like Obasanjo did. So it was in the process that Jonathan beckoned on thiefnubu. While thiefnubu was promoting Riba Dump as the ACN candidate, presidential candidate, thiefnubu was meeting with Goodluck Jonathan ahead of 2011 election. And indeed, he's on record. $2 billion, not naira, dollars, was ferried to the national leader of the ACN. They are abusing Jonathan outside, like campaign. And of course, when the election result was announced, Jonathan cleared the entire South in such a way that Everybody was like naming their children, Jonathan, Goodluck. Or it was the vulnerable moment of Jonathan, vulnerability of power. Tinubu saw through the crack. So when they all came together to come and kill the chicken farmer, Jonathan, and married his wife, the power, right? It lasted for a while. Bokwari, unfortunately, is like a vice versa. Now, Bokwari enjoyed it. And guess what? They all defended Bokwari. So now, the power got interested. I mean, should I say, the cow guy, which is thiefnubu, is interested in power. He's got the power now. To get thiefnubu out of power, but I say the chicken farmer, the goat farmer, and other people that have been, like impugned on, right? They want to deploy means of, we'll do this, we'll do that. Whatever they did to bring thiefnubu to power, they should undo it because he called them urban bandits. That's new.
But he is talking about his aspiration.
Well, they're all checking each other out.
Well, I'm sure they would. I mean, we are politicians. We are students of power. So yes, they will do that. But nobody is talking about, I want to be the president, or leave this for me, and so on. Everybody is saying we have a problem. This country is targeted for destruction by a collection of urban bandits. Let's come together, send them back home, and put this country back on track. Well, it is about fixing the country. Nobody is talking about his ambition. And that has been very good so far, and I'm encouraged.
Right. Well, I'm going to come back to that issue in a moment. Why the public mood is, because it is fair to say that many people may not like Mr. Tinubu, but many of them are undecided and are not necessarily convinced that people like you or Atiku or Obi or Kwankwaso are a better alternative.
Well, we have to ask the people to make up their minds. Do you like what is happening? This is just 2 years, okay? If you're happy with what is happening, if your life has got better since President Tinubu was sworn in on May 29, 2023, fine. But if not, why not give some other people a chance?
Well, the reason I ask that is because, I'm wondering whether you've carried out any sort of scientific poll to actually determine how popular he is. Because
no, we have.
I remember in 2023.
Yes, we have.
When you were sitting where you're sitting now, and I interviewed you.
Yes.
And I quoted the polls to you that suggested that Mr. Tinubu was only marginally popular.
Yes.
And you disputed that.
Yes.
But in the end, he could only manage less than a third of the vote, or around a third.
Yes.
While the two leading opposition candidates got collectively 2/3 of the vote.
True. Throughout the polling before the 2023 election, we knew that the election was going to be tight, very tight. But we were ahead. We knew we were going to be tight. We have done some polling. And I have mentioned some time ago that in many parts of the country, particularly in the southeast and the north, President Tinubu has 91% disapproval rating. Even in Lagos, he has 78% disapproval rating. Okay, in some states,
and that's a scientific poll.
It's a scientific poll,
right.
And in some states in the southwest, he's doing a bit better. Ondo Ekiti is doing better than 78% disapproval rating, but there is nowhere he's doing better than 50%, even in the southwest. The guy is gone. He's performed miserably. The economy has tanked. The security architecture has failed. There are no clear trade, industrial, and investment policies. Everything is going wrong. They are raising lots of revenues, but we don't know where the revenues are going because there are no results.
Well, they say they're giving a lot of that money to the states. And let's face it, development, you were a governor before.
Yeah, the states
are responsible for development.
They are not responsible for all development.
Not all.
States are responsible for education, healthcare, and
those
so
are key,
on. But major infrastructure, electricity, our rail system, our aviation system, the telecom system is all under exclusively federal so far. So yes, the states are getting more money in Naira terms, but my question is, where are the results? President Tinubu went to Kaduna last week to commission projects. 90% of all the projects he commissioned were the project that I did and took to 90% plus. Okay? No new projects have been initiated and commissioned in 2 years by this administration, even though they have had much more money. So the question is, and I gave the example of Kaduna only because I'm from the state and I know it pretty well and I get a lot of data about what is going on there. But the story is the same in most states of Nigeria. Some governors are trying hard, but frankly, most of them are not doing much with those resources. And the federal oversight is very weak because the president wants all the governors to be in APC.
But they would make the argument.
This is the consequence of the vote you voted. And it's too early to cry now because actually the real problem hasn't come.
It hasn't started yet. Urban bandits. So when I heard the word yesterday, and I'm like, your 2027 is going to actually be, it is going to be lit. Like the Gen Z will tell you, man, it's going to be lit. You go here, fire for fire. Obi the fire here. Atifku. No. Amechi, El-Rufai, all of them. So let them all come together to make it more interesting. They should make Peter Obi their presidential candidate so that it could just be like a two-faced thing. It will be interesting, right? I'm just saying. Okay. So, urban bandits. So in my head, I am like, okay. So, which of these urban bandits are we talking about? Share the Isaleko urban bandits, who is also like a Gwadubo that have relocated to Abuja. Abi the MC Oluomo gang, who are like the singlet wearing, what do you call it? Extorting group, sure you get the Jagbas. I've been at the Taliban bandits who are currently also hibernating around Abuja. And if it is all of them, good luck with that. There is more to be worried about. If you like say the padded budget is not padding, no. There's difference between padding budget and there is difference between being able to cash out. In 2024 budget of Nigeria, it was discovered that there were 6,000 plus, which is over 6,000 fake projects that are listed and approved as part of the 20-something trillion, 28 trillion or so budget then. In 2025, the National Assembly, they were able to pad at least again over 3 trillion naira that is expected to cover over 7,000 fake projects. For example, projects like a polytechnic in Auchi to construct a street light, which will cost 266 million per one. Or INEC, Nigeria, building new palace for the Oba of Egunla. Doesn't exist, but yeah, just it's fake, right? And it's going to cost 1.2 billion. Abi, Federal Medical Center, Owerri, building new palaces for the people of Zamfara. Those are fake projects. There are many in their, share you get, and trillions of naira goes into them. But it's like Nigeria is already facing cash crunch. they said contractors are now paid, projects are now on hold, ministries are now choosing which projects to execute and who to pay. Something that they are publicly telling everybody that is a problem. But the passion at which they are saying it makes me feel like the padded budget is difficult to cash out, as they are lying to you that they have more money now. Sure, you get, people are getting more money, ministry, and I feel like I say that is not only true. Let's go to the National Assembly. The first person to raise concern is Abduningi. Remember him?
From the committee chairman of appropriation is whether or not we are experiencing revenues, shortage of revenues, whether or not there is no money in this country to pay up this implemented project. Mr. President, it is not about procurement. We have liaised as a house. Most of the constituency projects that I know of, almost 80%, were completed 6 months before today. And therefore, you begin to hear rumors that the Minister of Finance and the Office of the Accountant General are picking and choosing projects they will finance. It is not right. Sequel to what I have said, I think the Committee on Appropriation, Mr. President, should be saddled with the investigation of why
you have 1 minute remaining.
It is important, even though Senator Yahya said the leadership, we have given the leadership that mandate, nothing has changed. We need to do what is parliamentary, what Parliament does. Give the Appropriation Committee a mandate of 2 weeks to present before this chamber as to why what is happening is happening. Lastly, Mr. President, this is Parliament. We need to be guided by logics. We need it to be guided by facts on the ground. What is happening is not backed by facts. I have no problem. There is necessity for us to address this issue. Extend it. But we cannot continue extending all the time. This thing has become normal.
Thank you very much. Senator.
We are a poor nation. The bank coal will follow. They say firewood not full. They say we need to plant more trees. And they are not giving us money. We need to open our eyes, shine it, and tell the West. If you don't guarantee our finances and work with us to stop this, we are not going to comply with your climate change. Do it.
I think na statistic we go chop. A lie with arithmetic that no Indian can solve it. I think na statistic.
There is revenue problem. But like I said, if you know, si ojuba parabale, arimu, they say if eyes relax, it goes in nose. And if you look at the kind of like the voice, the body language, at first, he said the constituency project, 80% of the constituency projects were completed, meaning they have no reason not to give us money now. And they have started looking, sniffing around to know why the Tinubu's government is not giving them money for these projects. They now found that because Tinubu said, nah, thief. So everybody may be speaking grammar, pretending that they are talking economics. No. Everybody is like, when you see a cat that is doing ablution, Yoruba says, Aluwala ologbo, Ogbon ati keran jeni. When you see a cat that is doing ablution, he is not preparing to go and pray. He is washing his hand to steal that fried meat. When they come before you speaking grammar, economy, this, the progress is for progress of Alayema Gorel, Nabobo, and they know among themselves. So Tinubu's gang knows what this constituency project is all about. It's just, so they're not paying them. And they believe that it is because we don't get money. All this noise about you are giving us more money, you are generating more money. Where is the money? Why they give us? How many of you know that this is in this June 2025, Tinubu's criminal gang, they are still operating 2024 budget. 2025 budget will start in 2026 because today in this conversation, they have extended the lifespan of 2024 budget to December 2025. So they are so good in just confuse everybody. When the government reach some level, you will ask for water and tell them that, okay, whatever you say, I agree. This is the reason why you will never feel the effect of any of their economic policies positively, because the intention behind it is to rip you off, always. But how about these guys? Seriake Dixon and others also spoke on the matter. It is what they had to say. Now, when you watch this video again, right, it is what they are saying, you know that. Then how they are saying it, and then what they are saying about it, kind of, I don't know, like, listen.
Government continues to run and does not grind to a halt. But clearly, nobody is satisfied about the situation that we have found ourselves in. Mr. President, I came this morning to have a conversation with the chairman of appropriation. I'm a member of that committee too. And also the chairman of finance. And if possible, to discuss this on the floor. I didn't know that this matter was slated for hearing. Because we're all inundated with complaints all over. Government has grounded, that's what it means. Contractors who have done their jobs, committed their resources, cannot be paid. The benefits of the budget that we all took time to work on and passed has not gotten to the people. And guess what? We are talking of the capital component. The recurrent component, which is for the bureaucrats, it has gotten to them 100%. 100%. The component that has not been released, that is still stagnant, nothing is moving forward, is the real one that goes to the people of Nigeria for development of our country, for all the people that we represent. So it's a very sad situation. You recall that some weeks back, there was a time that contractors, out of frustration and anger, I hear even stage demonstrations. I read about it. A number of you on this floor may be familiar with that. So, Mr. President, the chairman of appropriation, unlike other motions and debates he has led, for which we have always supported, even from this aisle, in the interest of the country, today has not given compelling reasons why this extension has become necessary. And I don't want to hazard any guess, but from this aisle, you all know what is happening. Maybe there is too much preoccupation with politics and 2027. Maybe there is too much concentration on receiving defectors all across the country, and people are not looking at it. Please come to Mr. President, I have the floor.
Don't deviate. You started very well, end very well.
I have the floor. I have the floor. Because the business of the Nigerian people, for which we were all elected, all of us and the President of the Federal Republic, is not moving forward. That is the reason this motion and this bill has become necessary. But like I said, from our experiences,
you have 1 second remaining.
Of our commitment for the national good and for the development, we are not opposed in principle to the extension, as the minority leader and my colleagues here have spoken. But I associate with the need to investigate. We need to. Our committees. Is it that we are not having enough money? We have withdrawn, all of us supported the withdrawal of fuel subsidy, meaning that there's even more money. All the other levels of government are getting far more money. Some of us managed recessions for 6 years. Now they are getting so much money, the state governments and the local government, which is good. So that means that money or availability of money is not the challenge. The reason the capital component of the budget has not moved forward for the benefit of Nigerians is not because there's no money. So I agree with the suggestion that we should direct the committee, our committee, as a matter of fact, both committees, led by the appropriation committee, and perhaps the committee on finance as well, to jointly within the next 1 week undertake an inquiry and report back to us why this has happened, so that we don't have this happening again. I just thought that I should
thank you very much for your contribution.
And to say that in principle,
thank you.
Even though we are not happy we are where we are, things have grounded to in the interest of the country. We need to pass this bill and allow the machinery of government to go on. But we need to investigate why we are here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
much. Assembly is not being taken into confidence by the executive arm of government on this very serious matter. This budget should have been implemented and everything done by December 31st, 2024. We extended it by another 6 months to the end of June this year. Right now, what is going on, that activities of the government are being stalled. Contractors who had even succeeded in completing their projects have not been paid. The system that they have adopted in getting payment done centrally from the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation has woefully failed. I knew of some efforts that have been made by the leadership of the Senate and maybe the leadership of the House to sensitize the Ministry of Finance and the relevant institutions of the executive arm of government about the danger this kind of thing.
This is the consequence of the vote you voted. And it's too early to cry now because actually the real problem hasn't come.
Not yet. So you can see them feels like the government is on hold. Contractors are not paid. Where is the money? If states are getting more money and other stuff. But who are they asking? If a committee that is for appropriation is unable to give them that answer, then why do they have that committee? Because it's the committee that should be able to tell them and say, you know what, from the financial record, this, and that, there's no reason why we shouldn't get money for our constituency projects. And it is called, don't worry, they will call all of them and say, okay, you know what, call all of them and give them 50 million or 100 million naira for their constituency projects, put it in their bank account. And boom, everybody will go quiet. And the people themselves will be, the losers. I need someone who understands Hausa, please, to help my viewers interpret this, because here is a Fulani bandit. I've been a Fulani terrorist too. They call him Fulani as man. Sending a message to the people of TV land that if anything, because you know people are currently telling them to leave Benue, you know, like leave our place, go back, you know. If anything happened to his cow, he is going to go after the, I don't want to probably just say it the way he said it, all right? Or in his own voice.
Hello. Ibi wallahi in ba ku daina ba za mu ci ubanku ba, ya kamata ba ku duba abin da yake akwai. Wai kuna ce za ku kore mu a jihar Benue. Ƙarya ne, ƙarya ne. Wallahi in ba ku daina ba, wallahi za ku ƙare kanku. Na gaya maku kenan. Ba wai za ku ce za ku kore mu a jihar Benue. Benue din na uba waye ne, naku ne. Ku ɗan Najeriya, mu ɗan Najeriya ne, ba ku isa ba. Wallahi in ku yi wasa daga Kadarko abinda ya kai Balanti Daudu, abinda ya kai Utese, ƙetare waya, za mu yi condemn naku in ba ku bari tsokane mu ba. Yanzu kan mage ya waye. Tibi, bari in gaya maku, agoi zai maku bidiyo caca, bari fa. In ba ku bari ba ma rabin ku zai kare. Ba dai ga munan ga ku kuna ce za ku kore mu a jihar Benue, wallahi ƙaryanku. Ko ku bari ko kuma ku mutu. Yanzu kam mun haɗa ƙafa wando da ku. In kun daina kun zama shegu. Muna nan muna dakonku, ranan da kuka ƙare kuka taɓa mana shanu ko mutum. Toran nan Kadarko condemn, Balanti Daudu condemn, Utese condemn, Ketare Waya condemn, sai mun haye da ku. Bayan mun haye da ku, za mu ƙare mu haye Benue nan. Za mu shirye bin Makodi, ko ku bari ko kar ku bari. Yanzu mun riga mun shirya. Wallahi ko ku bari ko kar ku bari. Bari in gaya maku. Ba wai za a taba ku kaɗan. Tinubu ya tashi ya zo ya yi maku gaisuwa. Wani rana gagaran na ya zo ya yi maku gaisuwa yana dariya. To ranar da mun ƙara kun kashe mana shanu ko mutum ran nan za mu kashe ku sai Tinubu ya yi kuka da idon shi. Otom, wallahi kamar da hankali, kai ne ka ɓata ƙasar nan. Amma gwamnati na yanzu nan, ina ji labari ana ce yana da ƙoƙari. Yana haɗa kan kawunan Fulani da Tibi, amma Tom kai ne ka kashe ƙasar nan. Kuna ce wai kuna yi target a hanya, in kun ga goya mota ku kashe. To mu ma muna da hankalin kanmu, kuma muna ga motoshinku da suna wuce wanda an rubuta masu Benue, Benue, Oma boss wannan mu ma za mu dinga target nasu, kakkashe su mu ƙone su. Amma mu muna yi zaɓi in mun
Me too, I don't understand Hausa that much. I don't even understand at all. So I'm just like the type that just speak word, but I'll tell you what he's been saying. He's sending a message, not message, he's threatening the people of Benue, especially the TVs. Right? If they don't stop all these threats of, they will, they will remove them from Benue. Do you understand that if they don't stop that threat, that they will kill everybody? If they touch one cow, they will kill everybody. That's most of what he's saying there. Did you hear that? Because I think I heard that. Nobody's looking for him. Stop stressing yourself. And that is why you see Iromi people. Remember the Iromi people? But they said they have formed their own vigilante. It is all because of these Fulani terrorists. Because they are the ones who detected the supposed hunters. And up to this moment, Opeodoyo, the Dodoyo governor of Edo State, is not even looking for them. So the update from Uromi, which everybody should probably emulate. This one.
No. Amen. Oh yeah. Wow, body, see mama. Everywhere good, everywhere good. A pepper. I walk with. I'm a walk with.
Sorry.
I swear.
We make it up by this time.
You know what? No,
I mean it. We don't run for that.
We are out.
We know how we take on.
I swear.
Iron, sharpest iron.
I swear.
Let them wait.
Don't be like.
We meet them. We get their time.
You know what? No.
Make who roll me. Especially the women who roll me. I'm going to go more if you can't do it. We meet them.
I swear.
They say, I can't do that. I'm going to from the body. Litre of what? Hey, check me.
Hey, check me.
Hey, check him. We'll bring me down. Peacefully. Eh? I don't know.
Oh yeah, man, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yes, oh yeah. No.
But they need to get them proper bulletproof vest. Because all that thing where they put for AK-47, what do you call it, you know? But I love their determination. No matter how you think or what you think of them, they are using what they have to defend themselves. If they get proper help, maybe they will be more kitted up than that. Everybody's resorting to self-help right now. You get what I mean? And that is why this area mama from Warri, by the way, has a message for you, the miracle workers. They always go to Warri to perform, she's talking about the pulpit bandits, by the way. They usually go to Warri to perform miracle. They say most people that comes there, that benefit from your miracle are mostly from outside Warri. And this woman, has something to tell you, us.
Area. This message is brought to you by men on ground, people with the background, where they vex, where they we walk cool. Now they send me. Say, una wanna they come Warri to come do crusades. We thank God, say God they use una. But the problem when we get with una now be say, the crusades they wanna they call do for Warri. The people wanna they heal. Now Lagos, Nebe, Benue, Yugoslavia. All those people now they heal. The men on the background, make I tell you, say any healing, any crusade on a car call Warri. More on a measure so now like 2 or 3 people who know the place. Now the Asian for Sido, the Anita for Gedegbe. No, now make sure say we get address of people where we say on the hill because we don't carry many crusade come this time. Pack short of cut offering now Jabarata. Una go eat people for you Yugoslavia, Nepe, Ghana. Una not the people they Warri. So any crusades now, wanna go do for Warri. Una must all eat people where they around Ubanguel, Ekredo, Palaso, Uguaton. Una go eat people who know the address. If not, Mona leave crusade matter first. Mona come with preaching. Preach and go. Ili pattern where be say the eat people where be say we not ever they know. Now Yugoslavia on that place for they come. We not go take them. Those of now they into Ili ministry. Una coming to do crusade, yes, on our people. Mona eat person we come for area. And that one we need because we get many people for background in area people. Una not they eat them. Those of now they eat people come for Yugoslavia to another place. Una stop them.
In the time of poverty like this, the economic principle of Yusuf is what everybody should apply in his own lives. Eat little, save more. You don't know what is happening. Kese la anri lowo makasakasa timbo. $1 was just 800 naira or thereabout a couple of months ago. Now $1 is over 1,000 naira. How much will it go? Nobody knows. Tori to nse falafulu. Ogba salary ikilawa. ìgbéraga weak ọ̀gbéra rẹ̀ sánlẹ̀ láìpẹ́. Eat little and save more. Ayé tá ń jẹ chicken kọ́ la wà yìí mọ́, ayé shawarma kọ́ mọ́, ayé ice cream kọ́, mú gààrí jẹ pọ̀nmọ́, gbàgbé táwọn doctor sọ pé kò ní nutritional value. Kí ló fẹ́ nutritional value pẹ̀lú kíní? Jẹ pọ̀nmọ́, mú gààrí, orí ẹja, wàláì kò rẹ́rìn. Bọ́ ọba lọ ṣe fàlàfòlò pẹ̀lú owó, ìyà ó jẹ ọba kẹ́.
Things are getting better for Nigeria. Things are getting better. For Asiwaju is on the throne. Things are getting better. Things are getting better. Things are getting better. Mr. President, things are getting better. Hey, I said, things are getting better for Nigeria. For Nigeria is on the way. Progressive government. Things are getting better. Asiwaju, congratulations.
Everybody go feel am. Remember that video that we were all trying to analyze few nights ago? Lababs, I can see you are like cracked up in that your living room. Where are you watching, Baba? Are you in the living room or you are just... You locked yourself in a room? Do you remember that video that we were trying to analyze here few nights ago about a judge in Yenagua, Bayelsa, that were saying, no, DSS, the way they dress, DSS, whoa, scream, whoa. Because there are some people dressed like police, or some people dressed like DSS, I've been a soldier. When they say enter car, they may be kidnappers, so they are not soldiers, they are not DSSO. I would learn here. We have not seen the judge, High Court judge of Yenagua in the last 4 days. So it's no longer like, oh, maybe some people already, Nigeria is so, these people have really messed. They've messed with people's brain, they've messed with people's empathy and all of that stuff. That thing that you suffer when you go to report a crime at the Nigerian police station. Yeah? Like, for example, somebody says, oh, I was sexually assaulted. Say, really? He sexually assaulted you, harassed you. What happened? You say, well, we met on Facebook and, we started talking. And, I'll call him, we'll talk for hours, then we decided that we should meet. Oh, so you met on Facebook, in case you, remember Bright Till Bright, yeah? Brighted Daffy. This is the kind of the question, right? Oh, so you met on Facebook. Okay, how did you get your number? Well, I gave him, we exchanged numbers, and we have been talking. Oh, you have been talking, you gave him your number, and he gave you his own. Yes. And then I told him, I said, okay, he said I should come to his house. And I said, oh, well, I don't have any transport and all of that because we have been talking. Then he sent me money. Oh, okay, he sent you money. What is that money for? For transportation, that I should come to his house. Oh, okay, then what happened? I don't have time. Please, tell our viewers. They want to know what happened. And then when I now called, I didn't see Uber. So I decided to call Okada. Okay, you call up. How much did he give you? Oh, he gave me 10,000. 10,000 for Okada. Okay. When you got there, and then when I got there, and he bought me food. What food? Bread and beans. No, we went to how much food? 45,000 food. Oh, you eat 45,000 food? Yes. And then we go back to his place, and they were trying to get down. I was going to get down with him. Then so I changed my mind. Oh, you changed your mind after you collected 10,000. And then you eat 45,000 food. Now police go to ask you. And from there you will know that but he lost, in case he lost. Just go back home. You understand Nigeria? So when you now say, so what happened? Please, I don't have time. And then you're like, and then I told him to stop. And then he said, he won't stop. I said, please stop. And, and that was when I fought him and I said, I'm going to go to the police station. Oh, he let you go. He allowed you to come to police station and report sexual harassment. Yes. And I want to write this. Which statement? My sister, they're supposed to arrest you here. No, you wouldn't even get to that point where you'll be like, Officer Bright, am I worried? I dropped the case. And he will tell you right there that you don't get case before. Nigeria, and why? I'm talking about human empathy, when people feels like, oh my God. Oh, how did that happen? I'm so sorry. That happened to you. Tell me about it, right? Nigeria don't be like that too. But I shared a video of somebody being kidnapped. In the comment section, they say, if he be one of those corrupt judges, maybe you don't go give judgment to criminals. Now, DSS don't call carry am. So people automatically just believe that there's no point in calling the 999 or 911. Is he a judge? Is a judge. I caught judge in Bayelsa. Next story. Now they are telling us that they have not seen the judge since that day. His kidnappers are not DSS. They are not NDA. I mean NDI. They are not army. They are not police. Judge, it means 4 days ago. Just flashback.
They should not see you.
My car is tinted.
Okay. You can off it. Now why are you owning it? Why you off the car? Oh man, this thing is serious, man. Jesus Christ.
You see the way they dress. So normally you can easily just say, oh, maybe they are policemen. Do you see all of that? And some said, oh, police DSS don't carry AK. But somebody said that day here. If you are that person, you are such an observant person. You are a very good person. You've got good eyes. Oh. We saw a lot in that place that could easily just give them away as maybe DSS or maybe police, maybe SARS. But with the moment you mentioned DSS, some people easily said, no, DSS don't carry that kind of gun. Baba kidnapper, the one, DSS, whatever it is, so kidnappers. See the person where they represent the NBA in Bayelsa. They are looking for judge since then.
With regards to what we know for now, and I can say this because we met with all of the security agencies yesterday, and then we're still in touch. We know for now that leads as to where these persons came from, these kidnappers came from, where they are, their footprints, that have been able to trace them. They are no longer a mystery anymore. And I think that what we're having now from the security is to put in concerted efforts to rescue my Lord alive. And because bringing him out alive is priority, that will take some sort of strategic thinking in ensuring. Otherwise, if it were just to get him out without having any premium on his life, I'm sure that would have already been done now. And this is actually comforting for us. We have given every support that we can give, and we thank the security agencies for what they've done so far. With respect to your second question, which is the boycott would continue. However, we would think that it shouldn't last so long, because we want my Lord to come back alive. On Thursday, that's in 2 days' time, my Lord will turn 57. Thursday is his birthday, and it will be quite sad and unfortunate that he will still be with his abductors on his birthday. So we are hopeful that we'll go past this sorry state in the shortest possible time. Thank you.
I told you that everybody Loma affects. ìgbà kan máa dé àsìkò kan ṣì ń bọ̀ wá. Ó máa dé o, ìgbà kan máa dé àsìkò kan ṣì ń bọ̀ wá. Tolóró máa sáré. Adájọ́ máa sáré. That is my lord gan máa sáré. Insecurity in Nigeria. Shebi, I told you. Did you see that the image of the kidnappers? If you are around that place, won't you think they are just policemen? A judge was dragged from his car. They tailed him to that spot. He was dragged from his car, and they dragged him into their own car.
Ìgbà kan máa dé, àsìkò kan ṣì ń bọ̀ wá. Ìgbà kan máa dé, àsìkò kan ṣì ń bọ̀ wá. Tolóró máa sáré, ọlọ́pàá máa sáré. Ayé máa sáré, ẹyẹ tí ò dúró rere máa sáré. Àlórà máa sáré, HS tí kò mọ kankan máa sáré. Everybody máa sáré, gbogbo wa pátá máa sáré. Ìgbà.
Everybody must. Good question. Somebody said, how could a judge not have a secure? They are kidnappers. Neutralized the zone security, took their targets, and left. And they've not made contact of what they want. And in 2 days' time, the man is going to turn 57, I've been at 58. He will be doing the birthday in the hands of his captors. My lord. How do you feel? Do you feel bad? That, you should have shown some empathy the last time I shared the video, because now that you know that it is a serious thing, or no, we don't like police. We don't like the judiciary too, right? Right. But let's see, there is a guy who has been calling out Okwe-Odoyo, the Dodoyo governor of Edo, and his own rant is quite funny, but at the same time, not funny. Now listen to this.
Money where this man, this governor of Edo State, don't do big God. They preach banner for Edo State. You go reach Teta Bini Sapler Road. You go reach Teta Bini Agbo Road. Now also billboard now they do. You know if you use the money to help her, Teta all the road way not good for Edo State. You they carry person board where we not know. They impose them for us. They put everywhere. See, man, tell you something. Come to 2027, 12 o'clock, this man don't enter house. 12 o'clock, don't go back to Lagos. I've been on State to come for. Now just be fast. Now be that one. We get hero for Edo State. Where people like them, Atoni Nahulu, where they fight for democracy for Nigeria. Where they did. You know they carry all those boards. They put for Edo State. Where Tinubu Day, where Atoni Nahulu, they fight for Edo, they fight for Nigeria. Tinubu were nowhere to be found. He ran away. He ran away. Tinubu not fight anything for Nigeria. Now loot, now they loot Nigeria. You carry a board now, they circulate them everywhere for Edo State. Oga, enough is enough. Nobody this one want to see. They carry our heroes, they put their signboard, they celebrate them. Because everywhere where you go now Tinubu signboard, now they put everywhere. Go to Harcourt, you go see Tinubu board for there. Not be Tinubu, don't be innovator Harcourt to see this ring road where they put it board. So everywhere, Manyama, check inside the ring road. Everywhere dirty past any other thing. Enough is enough. We don't want to see all those. Come to 2027, 12 o'clock, this man don't enter house. 12 o'clock, you don't enter house. Help her, if you like her that much, help her tie all the federal road where they are Edo State. All the federal road where they are Edo State, help her they tie. Edo State get the road, best road network, but they're not tying. If they carry a board, now lay a board, if you do am the board, helper dey tell the federal road. Who will know say yes, you dey to the helper. Not be say you na to dey carry a body, they come dey put her everywhere. See, you can force horse to river, you not fit force her, make drink water. We at those states, we not be push over people. Understand? They don't dey push us over. When the time reach, we go know. Yes.
The cost of fuel has gone up. Food and other prices have followed it. Households and businesses struggling. Things seem anxious and uncertain. I understand the hardship you face. I wish there were other ways, but there's not.
Hey! The transmission line is a super highway. For generated electricity and power. They could not even make a down payment for a roasted corn.
Àsìkò òǹgbẹ lọ́tún lósì ẹ̀mí ò sì káàrẹ̀ Jagaban Karim.
So, Tinubu's, hirelings are already assuring him that the entire South, Southeast, Southwest, South, as they love to call them, right? They are already in the bag for Tinubu. While the people live in these areas are saying, if they burn Tinubu well, right, it should come to them for their vote again. It's just that when you have a system that doesn't support your, your yearning, you want to participate in an election, Abi, you need a system that represents your true choice. But if you have a system that keeps manipulating you, participating in it is just, it's no longer about your right. It is actually like a ritual. A ritual that you just have to perform in order to validate the madness. Why should you be so easily used for that? For me, I am documenting the supposed outrage, the rage, the anger, and the rest, and see how that builds up. If it will change anything. If it will change anything at all. It's been announced that the price of petrol, PMS, the price of AGO, diesel, they've all gone up now. They have been increased by the NNPC Nigeria. This was supposed to be a national oil company, Nigeria's national oil company, so to say, in charge of your refineries. Anyway, the sheriff announced, and that has triggered a bit of a protest around the same moribund refinery in Portharcourt, the one they shut down.
Guys, if una see wetin dey happen for now for inside refinery, una see am. Everybody just dey para. Una know why? Una know say me dey always dey bring up dey come, but this up the one dey bring na price wey dey change. Make I show una the price wey NNPC bring come out this morning. For some of una wey dey like, they ask say why product everything dey go up. But una see everybody all the best. Don't hold on, no. But see, I'm gonna see price this morning. Now, price where they just change. See, I'm. Now only PMS. Now I know deal, but when I see price, wait the brick up this morning. When I see 150 Adam again. Oh, wow. See am. AGO, they see am. Government. More gonna do something because this one when they carry the con like this. I don't know anybody will go feel they come buy something like this. This country in our own, everybody own, now it be. This crude oil in our own. Give us our product. This is live from NNPC Refinery, Portharcourt. So as you are seeing this video now, we are doing our peaceful protest as you can see. NNPC should give us our products. Give us our normal products on our normal rate. Please, we are only begging. This is a peaceful protest. Increasing of the product every day. And from here, they are inside Portharcourt Refinery depot in LMA and Litre. Portharcourt. This is where this is give us product. All we are saying, give us product.
What kind of increment is that? So we are going on live peaceful protest for NNPC to give us our own stuff. Then there will be peace between us and NNPC. We are not doing it.
Guys,
how many times would they tell you before you know that Nigeria is not for you? Ah! Now they never leave you. They have left you behind. Photo, not be juju be that. Sorry, oh. May God not allow them, make them kill you. 70 years old man. I am mumu na too much. You be mumu. You think say they wise.
Now talking about being wise or not, right? There is no I don't think there is a criteria for it, and if there is, it must be a bit of high standard, kind of. Don't worry, I'm just genuflecting, kind of. In Ilawe Ekiti yesterday, the EFCC were seen operating as usual, an operation that started from the middle of the night, including vandalizing people's properties, doors and all that. And then cars were taken away from the internet fraudsters from that area of Ekiti. Captured this way. Sorry, one sec. There's something I wanted to say. In case if you hear this jazz sound behind some of these videos, it is just my way of trying to cancel out any unwanted sort of sound. Like, you know, when you're watching, for example, now you're watching a video of a road, showing you a road, and somebody is recording from their car, and there is no way you can take out the music from it. So what you do is that I could mix it up with some sound. I don't like it too, but man, we just have to manage it or else. You know what I mean? You can get some people to get us, you know, striked. And let's go back to that EFCC operation in Ekiti, captured on camera by several eyewitnesses.
wàláì tàlà àwọn ni òwò wò bọ́ọ̀sì wọn wàláì àwọn ni.
ìwọ ṣe fídíò lọ́wọ́ tèmi o
wàláì àwọn ni.
àwọn ni wọ́n ti kó gbogbo mọ́tò lọ ládò o
wo ẹ wò.
wọ́n ti kó mọ́tò lọ o ipa
òwò.
You don dey pass. You see them? You don dey pass. Ẹ ti rí mọ́tò tó gbé. Ẹ ti rí mọ́tò tó gbé. Ẹ ti rí mọ́tò tó ń gbé. Ẹ ti rí wọ́n ti gbé àwọn mọ́tò yìí. Wọ́n ti gbé wọn. Ọmọ EFCC ti gbé wọn fàárí. Ọmọ EFCC ti gbé wọn. EFCC ti gbé wọn. Ọmọ this is not supposed to happen. EFCC ti gbé wọn lọ. Wọ́n ti lọ.
They spoil everywhere. I just search. Oh, go be by law too. No, they know they knock door. They go sledgehammer. Wọ́n tún gbẹ̀ yín o.
Imagine.
Is this your side?
Ah.
Wàláì àwọn ni.
Wọ́n máa wọn lọ́wọ́ sọ. Wọ́n máa tó fi ń jálẹ̀kùn. Imagine see how they forget am. Wọ́n máa. Imagine ogun máa pa.
Aji na dem. Aji na dem. Aji na EFCC. Omo.
So that was in Ekiti. It was like it was an operation that possibly lasted more than just a night, you know. So there's something I sometimes do ask myself, right? Most of these Yahoo boys, most of them, they are like driving all these used cars. When I say used cars, and they are selling it to them, they are selling them, you know, like very, very expensive in a way, right? Or exorbitantly, so to say. So when you look at some of these, Yahoo boys who have to do rituals, right? They call it Yahoo Plus. So imagine having to subscribe to some fetish, shady means of doing your fraud, like to back your fraud, and all you could buy is a used car from America or from Europe. 2010, 2000 I don't even know if there is any of them driving in 2015, but maybe there is and football, you know. But yeah, the EFCC and all the cars you saw in that video, they will end up as private cars by the same EFCC that took them. And some of the guys whose cars they seized will bail themselves with the car by just forfeiting the pass. And they'll become friends with the EFCC. And then the cycle repeats itself. So to say, in Lagos, Wahabi, Wole has got something for us. Just the usual. This time, they call it demolition of illegal shanties. Trash. Did you see the video of that Ekiti? Did you see the environment? That is what these guys have done to Yoruba land and to Nigeria as a whole, especially Yoruba land. When you visit some of these states, you'll be like, oh, Moshe, did they just finish fighting war in my state, in my community? But the criminal politicians have all their billboards everywhere. No matter how far and unmotorable your village is, and how difficult it is to bring electricity, road, schools, hospitals, improved facilities to that community. No matter how difficult they tell you it is so easy for them to bring ballot paper there and ballot box so that they can use it to validate their fraud. You know? So here, Sha, is Lagos. Did you hear that? You see that last man? He was arrested for operating an abattoir in his compound. Yeah, he kills cows in his compound and sells the meat. So the normal expected health and safety measures that are supposed to, hygiene and all that. So they reported him, and Wahabi Wole visited him and they arrested him. And that was him like a tubabaita. Sorry, Verity. You remember that story? If you are a regular listener to Benga Deboye, all right? This part, the character, Itubabaita, a man, a notorious area father that controlled thugs, touts, and what have you, and he's also well known. So he was a landlord at someone's property, and his landlord, he was a tenant rather at somebody's property. So his landlord happened to be an Ijebu man. So one day, Itubabaita and his boys, they were all talking or planning to go somewhere. The landlord came, Baba Ijebu, Ibaita, and he came to come and complain that the rent that Itubabaita paid him was actually a rip-off. And what was the rent? Itubabaita, when he wanted to rent the house, I'm a storyteller, so please, just listen. So Itubabaita, when he was looking for a house, and he finally found one owned by Baba Ijebu. The Baba Ijebu was like, a room was 5 naira. And he was going to collect 2 years rent. So Itu Babata, back then, it was like in 1995, a while back. So Itu Babata was like, 5 naira, that's a very good share price so for rent. Okay, that makes it 60 naira a year. So 2 years makes it 120 naira for 2 years. So you want to rent 2 years rent? The landlord, Baba Ijebu, was like, yes. Itu Babata was like, don't worry. Multiply the 60 naira times 50 years. So he now gave him 60 naira per year he now paid 50 years in advance. So in 2005, 10 years after, things have changed. Democracy, because everybody is like, Itu Babata is a tenant that the landlord can send out. So the landlord now says, Itu Babata should pack out. That he needs to bring in new tenant that will pay the new price, because now, the rent is over 100 naira or over 200 naira per month. I mean, Itu Babata has already paid 50-year rent since 1985 at Bincon. So he now said, I will teach you a lesson. He's a third area father. So he called his boys to begin to dig the grave of the landlord. And he said, "O ma lo baba ba iya mi lorun o. Wa lo ma ba mi bere pe ki lo pa won." So the landlord was the one who caused it as an Ijebu man. When he walked, he said, "If you don't leave my house, I will place a curse on you. I'm an Ijebu man." That was what got Itu Babata angry. Tata ni lashe. We de boro jesha. Tí mo ṣe ń wo bí màá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ wá change it díẹ̀ tá extend it for another 100 years. We need a borrow jesha. So Itu Babata called his boys to dig the grave of the landlord. That he was going to bury him alive. And they actually buried him alive. But it was around the time that the police also came, because it's a long story, Sha. So now, Benga Adeboye. So when I saw that that last part of the video of the butcher arrested by Wabi Wole, when he told, so that's the part. Sorry, I forgot that. That's the part. So when they were burying the landlord, the police came. When they came, they were supposed to arrest him, but they said, "Sorry, we are just inviting you, sir, to our station." The DPO said issue. And he said, "Okay, don't worry. I'll come with you." And it was because he fought with Operation Sweep a day before. So he now told, as he was entering the police vehicle, he started sending message to his neighbor. You get like, "I will soon be back. Oh. All of you abusing me in this area. I will be back. Oh. When I come back, I will show all of you." That's what that man was saying in that van. They arrested him for environmental violation. How can you turn your own compound to abattoir, killing cows and selling cows, and the drain is there with the blood and the waste of that cow in a residential area? You're going to see that we're plenty for everywhere. Maybe I should call it tonight now. Or should we take calls? So thank you so much to every one of you who has been part of this this evening. The likers, the sharers, the commenters, and even the super chatters. CM, as well as Ade. Thank you. Who else? Yeah, thank you. So I am still pretty much looking forward to your help. And I'm talking about, the part where I spoke a few days ago. So I hope I get lucky. Because so far so good, I have received, 1, 2, 3 people's response, and I am so grateful. Like, very super grateful. So to the rest who are still on their way, God bless you. So thank you. I am thinking, let's call it a night. I know. I would want to share you get. So let's call it a night. I will see you again. But before you leave, please like the broadcast, okay? Like it, share it. I promise I'll see you tomorrow. The brunch time. Enjoy the rest of your evening, everyone. And you all have a wonderful night. Good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari láyé bí nàmbà wá. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari láyé bí nàmbà wá. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari láyé bí nàmbà wá. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun dayari láyé bí nàmbà wá. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun dayari láyé bí nàmbà wá. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun dayari láyé bí nàmbà wá. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari láyé bí nàmbà wá. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun dayari láyé bí nàmbà wá. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari láyé bí nàmbà wá. Mayegun dayari politico. Mayegun dayari láyé bí nàmbà wá. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun dayari láyé bí nàmbà wá. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun dayari láyé bí nàmbà wá. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari láyé bí nàmbà wá. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bíjó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí Presidiot bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà gbówó jẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀ oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o àyè.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀gọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàbò. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.